Hello there. I wanted to share with you a razor that I got about, I don't know, 2-3 weeks, a month ago maybe. It's the MicroTouch 1. The reason that I'm doing this, there's a lot of MicroTouch 1 videos on YouTube. I think I could probably find 6 or 7, with a general search in about 30 seconds. So, this is my version of it. The reason I kind of felt compelled to do this video is that I had been reading on one of the forums. I think it was Badger and Blade, but I can't remember for sure. There was a MicroTouch 1 thread. And I'd seen these in Walmart. And I'd looked at them and looked at them. Of course, you can't take them out of the package, so you can't really hold them in your hands. But I have an old, I don't know how old it is, but I have a Nanji razor that was piffed to me. That is an absolute piece of garbage. Quality-wise. Now, I can get a really good shave out of it. I can get a shave that approaches my straight razors out of that razor, but that's because of technique and the fact that the blade exposure is huge on it, But quality-wise, it's a piece of junk. And I've been looking at this razor, and it looks an awful lot at first glance like that Nanji, and I just assumed, hey, it's a piece of junk. It's just like that Nanji. They just put MicroTouch 1 on it, and, that's all it is. And I basically said that and said I wouldn't give a plug nickel for a MicroTouch 1. And a couple of days passed, and I got thinking, I shouldn't have said that without really looking at that razor and knowing for sure, all I ever did was hold the package in my hand. I never was able to actually hold that razor in my hand and actually observe what the quality was like. I was going, at a glance through the plastic of a package that it was in, and it just didn't set well with me. I kept thinking, I need to be more sure and more certain of what I'm saying. If I'm going to do something, if I'm going to say something about something, I need to know what it is I'm talking about, or I need to shut up, one of the two. So I thought, well, I'm going to go by Walmart, and I'm going to pick up one of those razors, and we're going to see. And I picked that razor up and brought it home and pulled the Nanji out of the drawer. I didn't even have to get the Nanji all the way up to me from pulling it out of the drawer to feel the difference between the two razors. The MicroTouch 1 is 2 or 3 times the weight of that Nanji, and the Nanji's made out of metal that was probably as close to a tin can, a soda can, or a beer can as you could possibly get. It's just not good. So, this is a MicroTouch 1. Now, I've looked at this razor over and over and over again. I cannot, for the life of me, find anything wrong with the plating. It's absolutely flawless and beautiful, nice and shiny. Not a scratch on it, not a mark on it, just a beautiful razor. And for what it is, I paid $22 for it. Now, for that $22, people say, well, you can get it for $10 all day long on eBay. Well, or online rather than say eBay, but they said online, Well, maybe they're talking about eBay, because the closest, cheapest place that I could find it in the vendors was for like $13 something, which is basically $14 at West Coast Shaving. So that's for the 9306 Wishi, which is what this supposedly is supposed to be. And so for me, if all I was buying was a razor, and I paid $14 at West Coast Shaving and $5.25 to get it home, that's close enough to what I paid for this at Walmart that it's like it's 6 of one, half dozen of the other, and I got a metal stand with this, and even the plastic little brush stands at a lot of the vendors are like $8, and I got a chrome metal stand that comes with this, that's worth $5. So, I mean, whatever. To me, it's a wash. I don't believe that I lost any money by purchasing this at Walmart as opposed to buying a Wishi online. That's just my opinion. But now, look at this razor. I'm gonna compared to my Lady Gillette. This is a 1968 Lady Gillette. This razor, by the way, is 46 years old, and it still performs like the day that it was made. This razor, I don't know if it'll do that. And the reason is I don't know what the mechanism inside here is made of. If I was going to skimp on a razor, then I'd do it in here where nobody could see it. If the mechanism here is made out of junk metal, pot metal, or anything that when it gets wet it corrodes and goes away in a year or so, then this thing ain't going to last very long. I don't see it lasting 46 years. So that's something to think about. But for a beginner, just starting out, this razor is a really good quality razor for $22. You know, if you look at the Lady Gillette, first of all, see how that opens and closes? Here's the Wishi. That's the same. They function pretty much identically. If you look at the Lady Gillette, see the thickness of the metal on these doors here? The Wishi, it's a little bit thinner, but they're still good and thick. They're not thin like a tin can. From what I understand, there's a comparison to the two. Even the newer Parkers and twist to opens and stuff like that, they're probably not much thicker than this either. I don't know, I've never owned one, but from all the questions that I've asked online about the modern razors, they don't compare in quality to the Gillettes. But, I mean, you look at that. That's a pretty decent amount of metal there. And I'm going to use a new Astra SP, and I want to show you. You put that Astra in there, and it don't move. So the fit of this razor is great in my opinion. Better than other razors, some of the three pieces where the blade moves back and forth and you kind of adjust it when you tighten it down. Okay. There's the blade gap. There's one side. There's the other. About equal. Pretty good. I don't have any problem with that. That's pretty even on both sides. So let's start with the shave. I'm going to whip it up a little more because it's been sitting. But I'm using C.O.Bigelow or Horasso Green. And let's start the shave. Now, I have had guys say, well, this razor, it don't shave me. It's too mild. It's almost like I use nothing. Well, they must have whiskers the size of the cables on the Golden Gate Bridge or something like that, because this razor, excuse me while I dry my hands, shaves me very well. One thing that I've noticed is that it requires a bit of a steeper angle than a normal super speed would. So, I mean, that might be part of the problem, that people are thinking this razor is really mild because they got that angle wrong. But, I'm trying to straighten out my sideburn. Anyway, this razor, notice the angle. It's slightly steeper. This razor shaves me just as good as my Gillette does. As a matter of fact, if I had to guess from my use of this razor, it seems to me to be a bit more aggressive than my Lady Gillette. So, I don't know. I don't know what everybody's talking about with, oh, I need to make 5 passes with that razor, and because I don't have that problem. It shaves very well to me. Now, what might be is that the manufacturers, because this is a newer one, I've just bought it within the last month or so. And maybe the manufacturers have paid attention to the online reviews and all the talk and stuff on the wet shave forums, and they address that problem, and the newer razors shave a little better. I don't know. That's a possibility. And so I don't want to, make anybody think that I'm dissing them or their opinion on the razor, but I don't have the problem that everybody seems to have with this razor. It shaves very well for me. And I think it's a pretty good quality. Like I said, I don't know about the twist open mechanism, but on any of the newer razors, I don't know about that. And I don't know if anybody does. The newer razors, so used to shaving with a straight, I keep trying to rinse one side instead of flipping it over and using the other. Anyway, the newer razors, no matter who makes them, until you start getting into things like Icon and Feather and some of the others, Weber and things like that, the newer razors almost all of them, are using Semogue now anyway, and I don't know what the twist open mechanisms in those razors are made out of any more than I know what this one's made out of. So when it comes to stuff like that, your guess is as good as mine. I just know this razor shaves good for me. Now that's a 2-pass shave. I normally do 3 passes, but I did a with the grain and then against the grain. Pass there just to see what that would give me. Chin's nice and smooth. I got a little bit here. I got some here. I need to actually make an across the grain pass to get that. That's what I normally get with my across the grain, is especially along there, the very edge of that jawline. But the chin is really nice and smooth. That's a pretty daggum good shave. That's on par with a second pass of any razor that I got, except maybe the straight. So, my opinion. Let's go ahead and do an across the grain pass. Love the Bigelow. Love that menthol. And see what we end up with after this pass. I pretty much know what I'm going to end up with because I've shaved with this razor for at least a month. So let's give it just as good of a chance as we would give any razor we were reviewing. All right. All right, third pass. Let's clean up. Nice and smooth, just like any other razor. My cheeks are baby butt smooth. So's my chin. So's right here, and this is a trouble spot I have sometimes. That's absolutely smooth as silk. And actually, right along in here is actually just a little bit smoother than what my lady Gillette does. I still got a little bit. I always have a bit that you can feel, especially with a wet face. When your skin is wet, you can feel every whisker you got. At least I can. So I always generally have a little bit there. But once I put some aftershave on and my face dries, I won't be able to feel that. I'm just being honest. So, I mean, I hate to tell you, but I would give this razor really high marks. It looks good. It's built about as well as any of the newer razors out there in its price range, in my opinion. I can't, the fit of the blade is absolutely solid, dead on, no movement, nothing like that. The mechanism functions smoothly. The plating is good and solid, and it's thick. It's not chintzy. It's well polished. The knurling is just as deep and heavy as anything else I've got. Even my Lady Gillette's knurling isn't any deeper than this. In fact, it's a little more shallow than this. So, I mean, all in all, if you're new to wet shaving, you're looking for a DE, you can't or don't want to go online and you don't want to wait for it, I would recommend going down to Walmart and grabbing one of the MicroTouch ones. You could do a lot worse for a lot more money. Don't buy a $2 or $3 razor off of eBay. At least go buy this. Or if you're going to go online, go buy a Oishi 9306 or 9603. I can't remember. I get the model number turned around. But if you go on the wet shave forums, they'll tell you what it is. It's a 9603 or a 9306. One of those two. You can get them at West Coast Shaving for like $14. It's a good razor. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I hope this has helped you. And I apologize to all the guys that like this razor for calling it a piece of junk, because it's not. If this were my only razor, I could use it for as long as it lasted and get really good shaves out of it without a bit of problem. And it looks good. So God bless you. Have a good evening or morning or whatever it is, whatever time it is that you're watching this video, and I will see you around on the shave forums.